Hi, this is Dan Gibson, and welcome to this presentation on how to recruit in a fun and an easy way to be able to build your Karatbars business. You know, recruiting is a very basic, essential requirement to any kind of an organization. I don't care if you're trying to build a Boy Scout troop or a franchise for McDonald's, you know, if you're trying to build a network marketing company, a church, whatever it is that you're trying to build is all going to be based upon people and quality people at that. The type of people that you'll be proud to be associated with, the kind of people that will have integrity and will be able to build into leaders or leaders that you can attract. So people, it's all about people and attracting people, and that means that having the skill and the ability to be able to recruit or to attract other people that see the vision that you see is critical to your success in just about everything, not just in Karatbars. But of course today we want to talk about Karatbars, and we want to give you a method that is so simple and so easy to do that not only will you be able to do it, but you'll be able to teach other people to do what you do. You know, my old sponsor many years ago in a business that we earned several $1 million in, he used to beat into my head that, Dan, it doesn't matter what you can do, it matters what you can teach others to do. So if you have something that you do that's so complicated that other people can't follow you, then you can't build anything. So you need a really simple method, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Before this video is finished, I think you're going to be fully equipped and dangerous so that you can go out and build a dynamic Karatbar business in a very short period of time. So what keeps people from being able to recruit anyway? You know, some people recruit lots and lots of people. I just watched a video of a Mexican-American guy with very little education who makes over $1 million a year, and he's built an organization of 500,000 people. Isn't that astounding? And yet there's other people that can't recruit anybody. They can't recruit a single soul. So what's the difference? Well, one of the things that's really important is credibility. You know, we all start without credibility. We don't know a lot about gold and silver, or at least a lot of us don't. That my wife and I have been buying gold and silver since the 80s, so we're getting more familiar than most people with what's out there. But most people don't know a lot about that, and since most of us aren't financially secure and wealthy and everything, when we talk to people about, you know, earning money and wealth, they kind of discount, because they think, what do you know about that, right? So if you're a good fisherman and you talk to a buddy about fishing, they'll probably listen because they know you're a good fisherman. But as soon as you talk to them about making money, they might just shut you out, because it's not that they don't want money. Of course they do. They do want a lifestyle. They do want money. They would like to be free. They'd like to never have to look for a job again. They just really don't believe you. And so one of the things we want to do is get past that and get into their self-interest. People do things for their own reasons, and people have problems, and a lot of times we don't see. You know, if you read the Bible, you'll notice that Jesus talked about people that having ears they don't hear, and having eyes they don't see. And you know, it sounds kind of crazy, but I've noticed that a lot, that most of us are so self-absorbed. We're so concerned about what we want and our needs and our pain and our suffering that we don't see what's going on around us with our friends and relatives and neighbors and co-workers. So the first thing is to really take a sincere interest in other people. You know, if you want to be a good recruiter, it's all about having ears to hear, eyes to see what's going on in people's lives, and asking sincere questions. Instead of saying, hey, how you doing? Say, Joe, how are things going for you? You know, see, that intimates, that shows that I'm really interested in what's going on. And Joe might say, well, you know, I just found out the other day that I that I have arthritis or whatever, or I'm about to lose my job. And you can also start topics of conversation with people like, what do you think about the economy? And boy, you get all kinds of feedback from people, even strangers I do this with, and most of them say, I think it's terrible, and I say, do you think it's going to get better? And they say, no. And I say, well, what's your plan? Do you have a plan to deal with it? And they go, plan? No, you don't have a plan. See, we've got a plan. So one thing is that we lack credibility. The second thing is communication skills. A lot of people have never learned how to communicate properly, which affects your marriage, it affects your children, it affects your ability to be promoted on your job or to get a job or to own a business. And quite frankly, you can't develop communication skills overnight, although it's a really good pursuit, because people that can communicate become leaders, and people that can't communicate have to use a shovel or a pick or something like that in order to be able to make a living. Communication is really important. Buy books, take courses, do what you can to learn how to communicate. But you can't do it overnight, and I want to give you stuff that you can do right now, because we're going to communicate for you. All you have to do is be a bringer. And the third thing is courage. A lot of people, they're afraid to approach people. They're afraid to talk to people. And of course, part of the reason that they do that is because they're so absorbed in themselves. Well, what if I get my feelings hurt? What if I'm rejected? What if they don't like me anymore? So we get all of these fears that build up in us. But if you will truly be interested in serving other people, realize that the only legitimate purpose for your business to exist is to improve the lives of other people. That's it. And if your goal and objective is to serve others and to help others to be financially free, to be protected against runaway inflation and financial mismanagement of the currency and those kind of things, if you're truly interested in serving other people, it'll come through. And that way you don't have a guilty conscience when you're calling somebody and you're trying to get their money. Have this attitude that I'm going to build a business by serving others, by building up other people, by helping other people be successful. So next I want to talk to you about this whole subject of scripts. A lot of people say, what do I say? Give me the words to say. But believe me, concepts are more important than scripts. And the reason for that is that when you're scripted, you're never natural. If you're my friend and I call you up and, hey Joe, how you doing? What's going on? And how's Sally? And how are the kids and the dog? We just have a conversation because we're friends. But if I'm reading some kind of a script, you will pick up on that. And why? Because when I'm reading a script, I'm not being me. I'm not being natural. So think of this, when you're trying to recommend something, which is all we're doing is inviting people to take a look at Carrot Bars. And so when you're doing that, you're not trying to get them to buy something, you're not trying to get them to do something except to take a look at something that you find interesting. So if you were trying to tell people about a movie that you recently saw, and you say, hey, I just saw this movie and it was really good, you might want to take a look at it. You see, you don't have a script to do that, do you? It's just natural to tell people about things that you find to be interesting. And if they don't go to the movie, I'm not offended. And they're not offended that I suggest that they go to the movie, unless they're Amish, maybe, or something like that. So you have to have eyes to see, ears to hear. Be yourself, be natural. Tell people about this business and about owning gold and silver in a very natural way because it's interesting. You've found something that is truly interesting, that there are people in this business that make $1 million a year, and that's interesting all by itself. And we have people like myself that are getting free gold. Who ever heard of free gold? We found a gold mine, a true gold mine, and we can share this gold mine with other people. Our business produces gold, but that you don't have to have a pick and shovel and dig it out of side of a mountain, it produces gold by just sharing it with other people. So we really have a gold mine here with Carrot Bars. So be natural. People are attracted to other people who take a sincere interest in them. So be sincere, take an interest in people, ask good questions, and you'll find that you are surrounded by people that have problems. They have problems with lifestyle, they have problems with income, and a lot of times we presume that everybody's fine because we never ask. Again, we don't hear, we don't ask the right questions. So you have to really take an interest in people and just share this with everybody. Share the Carrot Bar message with 3 people every day. And you'll find that you'll build a huge business in a very short period of time. Some will join you immediately. Some will join you a year from now. And nobody's going to get mad at you if you do it the way I'm getting ready to teach you. So what we have in Carrot Bar is a very simple plan that you can do without having to learn how to do a lot of things. We're going to do the heavy lifting for you. There's 3 steps: invitation, presentation, and 3-way call to a director. Your prospect 3-way into your director. And the only thing that you need to do is the invitation. Because the presentation, see, this is where communication skills come in. The presentation is properly done by people that are expert. It's legally vetted so that you're not saying things that are wrong. And of course, the 3-way call to your director, or to me if you're in my organization, that call is very, very effective. Most of the people that I talk to on a 3-way call join us, so it's just really simple. You're just the inviter. Just learn how to invite, and learn how to invite naturally, and nobody's going to be offended because of the way we're going to do it. So how is it that we do this? Well, you can do it with an instant message. You can do it with a text message. You can do it with a telephone call, which is really the best way to do it, is actually have contact. What I recommend that you do not do is to send out an email blast to everybody you know, because you'll just muddy the water, and that will not be effective for you. It hasn't been for other people, so you really want to talk to people one-on-one. So let's say that you call up Joe, your friend Joe, and you say, Joe, small talk, how you doing, how's the dog and the cat? And then you say, Joe, by the way, I've run into something that I think is really, really cool. Let me ask you, do you like gold? And then you shut up. And it's been my experience that I've talked to a lot of people and recruited a whole bunch of people. If they all say, well, sure, yeah. And then there's one of 2 questions to ask next, which is, one is, do you have any gold? And most people say no. Or you could say, Dan Geromo used to say, do you have enough of it? Do you like gold? And then they say no, and then you say, do you have enough of it? And nobody has enough gold, okay? Nobody has too much gold. Nobody has enough gold. It is such a wonderful thing that people have gone to the Klondike, in 1900, I think it was, looking for gold, or 1895. They went to the 49ers in 1849, went out to California, across the deserts and the plains and the mountains and everything, trying to find a little bit of gold. Gold has been exciting to people ever since man first existed. If you read the Bible, gold is first mentioned in Genesis chapter 2. So it goes right back to the first or second page of your Bible. Gold, it's always been precious. It always attracts attention, and everybody wishes they had it, and nobody ever thinks that they've got too much gold. So we have something exciting. So you ask somebody, do you like gold? Do you have enough of it? Let me tell you why this is important. You just exposed a problem that the guy didn't know he had. Because when I ask you, do you like gold? And you say yes, and then I say, do you have any gold? And you say no, don't you see that's a problem? I like it, but I don't have any. Okay? So now it's time for a solution. We can solve that problem. I've run into something pretty cool. There's this company that makes gold in tiny little ingots that are affordable for everybody, and a lot of people are just trading declining paper dollars into this real gold wealth. And they even have an affiliate program where you can get some gold for free just by referring it to other people. Tell me, I thought about you as soon as I saw this. If I send you a link, would you take a look at it? And then shut up. And most people are going to say, yeah, send me the link. So you put that in your pocket, and I say, great. Next question is, after they say yes, this is very important. Next thing you do is say, great, how soon do you think you can get to that website? I'll send you the link right now. How soon do you think you can get to the website? And they're going to have to think about that. And they'll say, well, I can do it right now. I can do it tonight when I get home. I can do it tomorrow morning. They'll tell you how soon. So you don't ask when, you ask how soon. How soon can you get to the website? And this makes them think about it, and it makes a commitment. Then the third step is say great, and then say, I know you're going to have questions because this is exciting stuff. Why don't I give you a call after you've had time to watch the video? It's only about 20-25 minutes long. If you're going to do it, if you're going to watch it at 4:30, how about if I give you a call about 5 or 5:30? Would that work for you? And of course they might say, no, we're having dinner. Could you do it at 7? Sure, let's do it at 7. So you ask them if they'll do it. You ask them how soon they'll do it, and 3, you book an appointment to follow up with them. And you won't believe how important this is. If you just ask people, will you watch the video, they'll say yes, but they won't get it done. But if they know that you're going to be calling them and they see, oh, Dan's going to be calling me in a half hour, I better watch that video. Why? Because I promised him I would, promised him I'd do it at 4 o'clock, and I promised to talk to him about it at 5. So you see, they've got a triple commitment. Yes, I will. Here's when I will, and I'm going to talk to you. I've got an appointment to talk to you. It quadruples your success that they'll actually get to the website. So now you call them back after they've been to the website. If you call them and they haven't made it, and they come up with an excuse, the dog ran off with my shoe and I couldn't get to the website, always say, oh, I understand, no problem, but this is pretty exciting. How soon do you think you can make it? And they say, well, I'll do it right now. Great, I'll give you a call back in a half hour, or hour, whatever. So recommit, get them to commit again, make a new appointment to call them. But if they have watched the video, then here's what I suggest. You ask them, what did you like best that you saw in that presentation? What did you like best? So I don't say, did you like it or not like it? I say, what did you like best? Which is a different question. It makes us think in our mind, well, what did I like best? Well, it looks like it's affordable, looks like you can make some money, and whatever. You see, I'm trying to figure out what really caught his attention, and that's how I find out, is by asking, what did you like best? And then I say, you probably have some questions. And yeah, I do have some questions. I say, I'm new at this myself, and it might be a good time for me to introduce you to my director. My director is Gary Pruitt. He's a great guy. He's been in the business 2 years, and he's been able to answer all my questions. And why don't I see if he's available? And so I 3-way into Gary. Now, before you even make your appointment to call the guy back, you might get a hold of your director and see if they're available at the time that you've got an appointment, so that they'll be ready to assist you on that call. Again, I'm happy to do it. Whoever your director is, that's what they do. And they do it very, very successfully. So if you'll just invite people, let the company do the presentation, and then, we've got live presentations, we've got DVD presentations, we've got recorded website presentations. There's all these different presentations. The main thing is you don't have to do it. You just invite them to see the presentation, and then you've got somebody else to answer their questions and help people get into the business. This is so much fun, and it's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, I've never seen anything so easy, because everybody wants gold. Not everybody wants vitamins and air purifiers and soap and all the stuff that Mary Kay Cosmetics. Not everybody wants all that stuff, but everybody would like to have some gold. So this is fun and it's easy. So that's using the telephone. But let's talk lastly about the 3-foot rule. The 3-foot rule means that if anybody gets within 3 feet of you, whether it's a friend, a relative, a neighbor, or somebody standing in the line at the Walmart store, with 10 people ahead of you, you reach in your pocket. In my billfold, I keep 2 Karatbar cards. I have a 1-gram card, and I pull it out, and then I have a 5-gram card, and I also have a Karatbar coin. Beautiful Karatbar coin with gold and silver and brass around the outside of it. And so what I do is I like to do kind of a 3-step thing when I meet somebody, whether I know them or not, but we strike up a conversation. Hey, how's it going? And then I say, by the way, have you ever seen one of these? And most people, I put it in their hand, and they look at it and they go, no, what is that? And I say, that's gold. That's 24 karat, 9999 fine gold bullion. And typically what people say is, wow. And then they'll ask, well, where did you get these? Right? They're curious. They've never seen one, and everybody, they'd like to put it in their pocket. And if this impresses you, the 1 gram, then I say, now this one's a 5 gram, and it's more impressive. It's more beautiful, bigger, 5 times bigger. And then I say, I also have a coin, and I reach it. I keep this little purse in my pocket all the time, okay? And I open that up, and I take out this 1 gram Karatbar coin, and I show them that, and they get excited about that. It's beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's in a plastic case. I keep it in there so it doesn't get smudges on it and things like that. But it's just beautiful. And so people look at that. So have you ever seen one? And I say, yeah. I say, this is, a lot of times I start the conversation by saying, hey, what do you think about the economy? And people say, well, it stinks. And I say, you think it's going to get better or it's going to get worse? And I go, I don't know, but it could get worse. And I say, especially if some so-and-so gets elected, And I say, yeah, I suspect that's right. And I say, so do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to deal with the declining dollar and inflation? And most people say no. And I say, well, my wife and I have got a plan, and that's when I break out my billfold and I say, have you ever seen one of these? And I show them the Karatbar card. It's easy. It's fun. It's like show and tell at school, okay? People look at it. And then I've got a business card, and my business card I can hand to them and say, if you like, here's my web address. This is a short presentation. It'll show you how you can protect your family too. And by the way, it might even be a small business you might be interested in. How'd you like to make a living by telling other people how to save gold? So anyway, do what you want. Have fun with this, guys. Just have fun. So when you get close to somebody, start the conversation. When you're in a family meeting, a Thanksgiving dinner or something like that, everybody, especially the guys, they want to talk about football and politics, and I just change the subject when there's an opportunity. I say, hey, what do you guys think? Is the economy going to get better? And I listen. You got to be a good listener. And people say, I think I'm going to lose my job. And I go, no kidding. How long have you had that job? I've had it for 15 years, and they're going to move it to Mexico. So I say, well, you know what? I might be able to help you with that. Okay? I'll talk to you about it later. So I don't go into a big presentation in front of a lot of people, but I just make a note, and I get a hold of Joe later and tell him. So I hope this has been a big help to you. This is a fun business. It's easy. There's people that are making an awful lot of money, and we want you to join those ranks of people that have a great lifestyle, great income, and a whole bunch of gold saved up and set aside instead of this paper that has no future. This has no future. Gold always has a future. Well, God bless you. Have a great day. Look forward to being with you in the winner's circle. Bye.